Hello, friends. This is Pernilla Lila Rose from Divine Feminine Flow. And what shall we talk about today? I have an idea. How about embodiment? It's been up lately a lot, and it will be for a while, because it is a very core piece of my message, what I've been sharing for years. I would like to ask you this question. Are you ignoring your human experience? It's a very common thing to do on the spiritual path, Before we get on the spiritual path, the human experience is everything. It's everything. It's all we know. So, of course, it depends on where we are on the spiritual path and at what stage we are beginning to disidentify from our human experience. It's a very normal thing. It's part of the journey. But if we start doing it from the mind too early, too soon, then we are ignoring a vital part of coming into full realization. And by the way, I'm not there myself. I'm sure you know that already. But I can see the traps. I am aware of how I used to do it. I'm sure there's many areas where I may do it, but to bring light to the fact or the question, are you ignoring your human experience? And if your answer is yes, then my next question is why? And feel free to comment below and share your experience. It's an interesting conversation. It's not something that is wrong or bad, because none of it is. It all depends on, what layers we are still seeing through. And when we get on the spiritual path, maybe it's even more in the earlier stages. Well, it probably comes and goes, but when you start realizing, whether you hear it at a spiritual discourse or a satsang or a YouTube video, whatever, where they talk about that you are not your body, then the mind may grab onto that and say, oh, I'm not my body. And then the tendency is to ignore it with everything that comes with that. I do remember in my early days when I started going to satsang, which is the non-dual teachings, there were a number of people who declared themselves maybe enlightened. I don't know, something that they really had seen through it all. And they were totally denying their human experience. Even the fact that they were being unkind, maybe harsh, they would just say, well, that's just happening. This is not me. So there was a complete lack of responsibility and connection to the vessel that we are, that the divine comes through. We cannot deny our experience. We can soften around it. We can practice letting go of the attachments around it, and that includes our aversions. They're just as much attachments, the grasping as the pushing away. So those are the things we need to start looking at. And denying it is really just prolonging the spiritual journey before you start getting more and more liberated, because the attention, even though unconsciously, it's going there trying to ignore something or deny something or push something away or reject it. This is, of course, what we call the spiritual bypass. And I don't think we normally don't know that we're doing it in the beginning because, I think it's a very normal response when you start realizing like, oh my God, I'm not my body. I may even experience like I don't even exist. So why would I give attention to that? And I think it's a fair question. And there is probably a period where that's just how you may live. But then you might notice that you run into problems. You may not take care of your body because it's not me, I'm not my body. So why would I care? So I just eat, I don't know, ice cream and drink beer, whatever your favorite is. And then the body starts deteriorating in its own way. And then you might go, well, it's not me anyway. And you might just let that go all the way to the end and cross over the rainbow bridge. That's possible. I doubt it. Because when we start getting sick, um, suddenly there is an attention towards the body. And I do know a number of spiritual teachers, spiritual guides, spiritual, bigger, bigger people in the world with a bigger audience and a bigger presence who got very sick and they were forced to start paying attention to the body. And they had gone through a long phase of ignoring it. And sometimes when we do that, and if we are a teacher, we can share that with others as if it's the truth. But it's only a truth maybe for a short time until we start realizing that, I can't leave anything out. I just cannot do that. I cannot, like I talked about the other day, it's like we slice off a part of ourselves and that kind of goes over to the side and we're left here and say, oh, no, that's not me. But what we don't realize is that, the roots are here and they're still connected. So we are all of that. We're just pretending or trying to get rid of it. And it's never, ever going to work. That's why learning to really pay attention to your body and not ignoring it. I think that is maybe later on our journey. Maybe it depends on, how your upbringing was, what your surroundings are, what teachers you're with. But at a certain point, we really need to start paying attention to the body. So every single part of us can come home. This is, to me, true embodiment. It's not bringing in the divine because the divine is everywhere. Although it's also nice to, allow the energies to come in. It's all good in my book. We just need to be conscious about where we are and how we are being present with the parts of us that we really don't like. Part of us wants to get rid of them. And, you may not like your body and you're just like, I'm just going to ignore it. But it's not going to work, right? So embodiment is really high on the list if we want to live here as embodied presence, embodied divinity. I'm sure it means a lot more than what I'm going to share now because I'm just, little Pernilla sharing what her experience is. But it's really allowing the presence that we are to fill up every part of itself. The fact that we slice off a part, that's just happening in our mind, okay? And everything that's happening in our mind, of course, is going to be experienced as our reality, as our truth, until we realize that the mind is not it either. But if we slice off this part in our mind, we are still connected. We are still divine. It's not separate from us. It never can be. And that's why instead of doing this slicing off or cutting off and pushing away, we need to bring that loving presence that we are, that love that we are. We bring our attention into that experience of what we don't want, anything in the body, any emotions, any thoughts. We bring ourselves lovingly. It's like being willing to fully experience what we're trying to get rid of. It's like that. What did I say the other day? God abhors a vacuum cleaner. God abhors a vacuum. Sorry, guys. So as soon as we make space for it, instead of going like, wait, if we start softening and opening up to it, the divine rushes in because there's a vacuum here. And since God is everywhere, it just rushes in when we stop excluding God, which is really all we do. It's just the mind that is having these beliefs that this is true or this is how it works. Like I deny my body, I ignore my body because I've heard that I'm not my body, or I deny my body because I have had the experience and maybe still do that I am not my body. I can easily go there, and because when I go and experience who and what I am, I'm not my body at all. That doesn't even compute in one way. But my body is here and I'm here to take care of it. It's like a temple for the divine, so that I'm letting the divine express itself through every pore and cell in my body. I'm not going to deny anything in there. But I'm also not gonna defend it and have a story around it, or be attached to it, or want to make it look like amazing, unless there is a real joy in that. I mean, we certainly should enjoy our bodies, but we shouldn't be so attached to it that that's all where our focus is. So everything is like finding that middle way where we stay here and we kind of dance with everything that's going on inside and out. It seems that the first week or two for me this year is there is a lot of the whole embodiment, the sharing of it. That's why I'm sharing it today, and I have been sharing about it lately also. And I want to let you know that this coming week, starting Monday, from Monday to Friday, the 6th through the 13th, there is an online convergence called this embodied presence, I think, the core embodiment, the core embodiment. And there will be a lot of speakers on this convergence. And we will all be speaking about it from our own experience, because there is not one way. There is your way, and there is my way, and there's everybody's unique way, how we find our way back, let's say, to the ocean of oneness. There's all these little rivers and creeks that are just trickling down, and on the way we figured out how to make it back down to the ocean. And then we may take some of the ocean water and carry our water, our flavor of the water, and sharing that with the world. There was actually somebody on the call this morning about this convergence who used that example, and I just loved it. It's like, gosh, we all have our water and we just sprinkle and spread it out, and we all have a different flavor for it, although a lot of it is similar. But it's still, there is a uniqueness to how we each express that. So I always enjoy it when I talk to other people about this embodiment and awakening, because they come with a new flavor, and it's like, oh, now I know what I have been speaking about or feeling, and you just put words to it. And it really opens up my own vista inside and out. So that's why it's really lovely to hear others and what their experience is and see what can resonate with you and I to help us open up more to who we are, to help us embody more of the parts that we have been resisting. I will put the link in the description below, and I would really invite you to join. It's free. It's going to be all week, a number of speakers every day, about half an hour each. There's going to be a schedule that comes out on Monday. It is on a group, in somebody's group on Facebook. And that's the link I will post here. So all you need to do basically is join the group. It's free, so there's no strings attached. And then you can go in and you can look at the schedule and you can see if there's certain ones, or maybe all of them, that resonates with you. And then you can go there at that time, go into the Facebook group and listen. The replays will be there too, because there's going to be a lot every day, so you can't listen to all of it. So there will be replays. So you can also go back and just, scroll down and see who talked that you might be interested in. So this is a free offering, and I think it's really, really lovely that we are beginning to work together. This is what it feels like to me with this little group here and the beautiful woman who's creating it. It's like we're beginning to work more together. It's not like, oh, little me, and I want to do it my way, and I don't want anybody to, be in competition with me. This is all the old stuff that I think all of us have gone through. But because the energies have shifted so much, now we all feel more like it's just this one big offering to help everybody be lifted. And that's why I think it's a very special thing that she's creating here, and I'm very grateful to be part of it. My specific presentation is going to be on Wednesday, the 8th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So if you check the link, and you go into the Facebook and join, then you'll learn a lot more what's going on. So that I would definitely want to invite you to do. And then the week after that, I'm offering a free webinar called Awakening the Fearless Light Worker Within. And that is also an invitation to really help each other. I mean, we're going to be in a group there, and to really start finding out where the fear has been holding that fearlessness underneath at bay, so that we have not been able to shine our light and raise the frequencies. So I'll be talking more about that, and there will also be time for Q&A at the end. So if that is of interest, check that link below too. That will take you to the page where you can join that for free also. And there will be a replay, but you need to sign up for it so I can send it to you. And then, of course, this coming Tuesday, my monthly gathering called Feel Your Deeper Longing, Find Your Spiritual Calling. The link will also be below. So there's a lot going on this next week or so, and you're welcome to join all of it. I would love to meet you in person. This is just, a YouTube video. It would be lovely to have a connection where we also can talk and get to meet each other, which all these three actually offer. Well, the Facebook page is more, you can do comment and we can write together, but the webinar and my gathering, we're live, we can connect, we can talk, and I like that. Okay, so wishing you a beautiful day, and I will be back soon, and I hope to see you at any of these events. Thank you so much.